Hi guys, this is my wife's old phone from about 2017 or something. The problem we had with it was you couldn't charge it. There's a problem with the charging port here. If you wiggle the lead around enough, you could actually get it to charge for a while and then it'd come loose again and it'd stop charging. So we changed our phone to a different phone. But I was wondering whether I could actually get this apart and have a look, possibly at either replacing that port or bypassing it and charging it externally, because I want a phone that I can put an app on that I don't trust. I don't want to put it on my main phone. So if I can get this open, somewhere I got proper spudgers that I bought for taking Xbox controller apart. But I seem to be doing all right here. Whether I'm actually going to achieve anything getting this back off it. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're straight in. More or less. I suppose I could try heating it to help release it. Oh yeah, I can see there's some bits that are being brought up with the glue that shouldn't be brought up with the glue. There's a ribbon cable caught up there. I'll play a hairdryer over the back of it. See if we can get it to release. Now, I don't know if you can see that in there, but there is a ribbon cable just there that probably shouldn't be coming up. Oh, actually, looking at that, I think that's... I don't know. I'll play some hot air on that, see if that'll help release it. Yes, hot air did it. So I'm guessing those two bits there make contact. Yeah, there's two tags just there. That probably detects whether the back's on it or not. Well, we're in. The bit we want to get to is under there. What does this do? That was stuck on there, that bit. That's the bit that's come loose when I've heated it. I expect there's probably a video on YouTube about taking these apart. What we really want to know is, can we charge that directly? You need the right size screwdrivers to undo those bolts. I might have them. That looks like that might be a module on its own, where the charging port goes. I wonder where I've put the bits and pieces, tools. I'll have a look round. Well, I found my set of little star drive screwdrivers. I really ought to go and have a look at a video. That's going to tell me what to do. I think this is going to be a one-way disassembly at the moment. Just me taking it apart and not being able to get it back together again. So I think this is all glued in place. Nothing wants to move. Yeah, probably going to have to heat it all again. I'm being very gentle here before people get really upset about me squeezing up against the battery. It's moving. Just not very much. I suppose I could place some heat on this side, on the screen, see if that'll release it. Well, blowing the hairdryer on it did help. We've got a strip of sticky there, and sticky there, and a few other little bits there, holding the battery in place. So we managed to get that up. And the battery connections actually go into that little bit there. There we go. So if you were just going to replace the battery, that's it. Bit closer so you can see. Oh, There we go. So that's where the battery plugs in, just there. So there wasn't any reason for me to undo those screws at that end. That looks like the microphone or the speaker just there. Is that in focus? There we go. Yeah, that looks like the microphone or the speaker just there. Okay, so where do we go next? This is the screen, obviously. These wires here come down, obviously down to the bottom here. That's magnetic. I keep forgetting I'm in close-up mode. Yeah, that's magnetic there. Whatever it is. And that looks like that'll be the microphone at that end, won't it? Yeah, that'll be the microphone. There will be somebody who's done a proper teardown of these on YouTube somewhere. But what we're looking at is there any way I can get to the back of that socket? If we want to lift this off, we're going to have to unplug that. And probably unplug that. I'll have a little think. Just for reference, yeah, these little bits just unplug. Looks like I'll have to unplug that one as well. That lift off. Yeah. And then we'll see if we can get this board up so we can look at this end. It's probably a module that could be replaced. Although, being as this is probably several years old, the only way you'll get a replacement is to take it off somebody else's phone. I've just put the battery back in again. I haven't actually done anything useful yet, but I've put the battery back in again so I can demonstrate. If I push really hard, then the red light comes on, the charging light. And we are charging. But if I release the pressure, it drops out. So it's something to do with the socket. That's what we're trying to look at. Well, we've made some progress. I still think this is going to be a one-way trip. I don't think we're going to fix this. Yeah, undid that plug and that plug that come off there. That was the battery contact. That one came off of just there. That one lifts off of there. That's a ribbon cable that I flicked the little catch back on, but that doesn't appear to have released it. That's still tight in there unless I'm going to pull something else off. I don't know. I can't tell. But that one won't come free. That one there, where are we? That one there, I didn't actually see, but that was connected to the bottom there. So as I've lifted that up, that one's come off. This is our socket that's apparently given us the problem, but I suspect it's not that socket at all. This bit sits on top there and was quite a struggle to get out, but that clearly, there's a couple of contacts there that make contact just there, and then I don't know if they make contact anywhere else. I'm wondering if whether those were making poor contact, and the only time they made contact was when I put pressure on this, pushing it. As far as I can see, all they do I don't know whether they do anything else or not. But that would make sense if putting pressure on there was enough to make them make better contact. And the only thing I can do is pop them up a bit to put a bit more spring in them and push it back together and see if that actually makes any difference. I don't know whether I'll be able to get all the bits back together or not. But I don't think that socket is loose in any way at all. The only other thing is if the actual pins inside are bent or something, so they only make contact when you push the connector all the way in. That's going to be quite fun trying to get that all back together. Yeah. Oh well, we'll have a go. Another progress report. No progress. On the positive side, I managed to get it all back together, all the bits plugged in where they should be plugged in. And if I push it hard, well, yeah, the red light still comes on. So it is still charging, but only if I put the pressure on it. So no further forwards, other than we've had a look inside. I really had hoped it was those contacts I found that were on the back of this one, but that didn't make any difference. I guess the next thing is to take it apart again and try and solder some wires directly onto the tags that connector is on and bring one out so we can actually plug something in outside. And then at least we could charge it. Right, got it out again. This time I was able to release that little ribbon cable. That one. But let's be honest, the chances of doing anything to that socket are very, very slim. Because this is going to be a multi-layer PCB. Let's go closer. And the tags that we want to get to are going directly into the board. And I expect if I disassemble the plug, then the little brass legs that go down to the socket, we might be able to get to the individual brass legs and solder wires onto them and then bring it all the way out. I'm still thinking this is a one-way trip. Oh dear. That's all I can think. Actually break this assembly apart, lever it apart, so we can actually get to the little brass legs that will be sticking out on the plastic there. Right. I've removed the USB socket. I've no idea whether I'm capable of soldering anything that fine, that close together. That's going to be a real challenge. And that's going to be a separate video. That's as far as we're going on this one at the moment, until I pluck up courage to actually have a go at soldering something that small. Plan is to solder some wires on there, little ribbon cable or something, and then have an external socket that we can plug into, see if that works. But not today.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave me a comment so I know how I'm doing.